All right, let's do a bit of a recap because I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, like, what the hell was this trip? And it signifies something that's pretty cool. And along with the fact that my Crohn's have been absolutely terrorizing me, and I've been to the bathrooms more time today than most of you probably have last week, there's a lot to talk about. But first, today was the finals for OSG, which means we got to see a lot of this. Just people winning their trophies and getting their time in the limelight, getting their spotlight. This person didn't look too happy about their positioning, which kind of sucks that she just sort of walked off. But I mean, hey, it happens. Emotions get strong when you put so much into something and you don't get the desired outcome. And there was some pretty wholesome moment too. I saw a lot of very big, burly, jacked dudes crying today, which also pretty cool. And I can't say that I'm different because, well, if you guys saw my summer shredding content, you saw that I cried about 15 times in the last hour of summer shredding. But that's not the point. I saw a couple legends getting more hardware because I'm sure that these two guys specifically have more hardware in their houses than most of us will acquire together. And also, just a quick little spotlight to this very specific clip. For those who don't know, this guy's name is JF Caron. The first ever Strongman comp that I went to with Max and Sam was when he blew out his knees and ruptured both of his quads off of his kneecaps, so they like brought up. So when this happens, so when you'll see in the clip happens, that's why I screamed and said the cuss words that I did say.
Now at the 220 pounds, the circus dumbbell. Here he comes. He's got it in the rack. Here comes the press.
Oh, tabarnak!
Unfortunately, take a little bit of stumble, but we get immediately.
So when he gave that thumbs up, it was like, holy shit. But first off, it was really weird being at this event because this was my first time going to like a high-level strongman event without Max and Sam, because it was always with them. The Arnolds, the world's strongest man on earth. Those were I was always there with Max and Sam. And I mean, Max was obviously the person that like sort of introduced me to the world of strongman in the first place. So being here without him was like almost a strange experience. But it didn't take long before I realized that I'm willing to say that like 60% of the athletes knew who I was there, just based off, you know, I'm pretty loud online, so that would have worked. What that meant is that, because I only found out about like, hey, want to come on this trip like 2 weeks before, or was it 3? I don't know. Well, it was really quick, and it was just based off the fact that the organizers were like, hey, we've seen your stuff. We like your stuff. A lot of our audience know who you are, and it'd be cool to just have you come out. I feel as though that could be the start of something. Who knows? Maybe they'll bring me out to the World's Strongest Man, and I'll get to do this, or like the Giants live events. Again, who knows, right? It's just, if anything, to me, this is just one of those things that's showing that things are going in the right direction. Things are working. We'll get to inspire more people. We'll get to have access to like a new audience of people, which leads me to this next question right here that somebody wrote on the last video from Iron Spider 23. Bro, I've been watching you since the first video with Will Tennyson. It's crazy to me that you don't have more views and comments here. What I'm going to say to that is it's fine. It's really, and I'm probably fucking like every influencer were like fake saying, oh, it's all good. No, I'm happy with where I'm at. And I'm not going to say that. Obviously, I wish I could be cranking out Sam Sulik numbers, doing the daily vlogs. But at the same time, if there's one thing that I learned through Instagram, and I've seen this time and time again, when people blow up too quickly and they don't know how to retain the audience yet, they will lose the audience. Like, let's look at like most, let's say, Instagrammers that blow up overnight, right? Most of them don't know how to create content that's actually captivating. And then they'll realize really quickly that if they don't produce only that single type of content, people will just fall off, and then people will unfollow them. On Instagram, I have never once since I started making content had a negative following count day, which means there's always like people following. Some of the lowest days ever, I think, was like 51 new followers that day or something. But I've had like, but again, because I make content every single day for 6 months straight, documenting the weights, by the time that the Will Tennyson video happened, I already knew how to make content that could keep people around. And it's the same thing for YouTube. Like, yes, I've been posting for like literally forever, but that doesn't mean that my content's good yet. And I don't think it's I don't even think it's close to being where it's at for me to have this gigantic audience come up. And then, because I don't think I have the chops yet to keep them around. Like, for everybody that is staying around, sweet. Love you guys. And I will always remember your guys' names and your profile pictures. Don't change them. Right? Again, YouTube has been this thing I've been posting on for what, like, since 2010. It's been like 15 years almost. If I was doing this only because I wanted the views and stuff, I definitely wouldn't be in the right place. So all this to say that I'm genuinely enjoying this process. Sure, of course, sometimes I'll fall into the influencer trap and say, "Oh, I wish I had more followers," but it's so much more than that. It's just learning. It's just learning that I have to document instead of just only creating, and that's where it gets fun. That's where it gets interesting. I get to try different concept videos right now, like the salt video from yesterday. It's my worst performing video that I've done in like months. I liked making that video, and that's fine. Versus if I fell into that influencer trap and I made that video and I put so much work and time and effort into it, and then it failed, and then I felt like a failure. But luckily, that's just not where I'm at. So that's one of the best net positive things that can be out there. So all that to say that I'm just going to keep going. And one thing I've actually come to the realization of is I cannot keep going like this. I'm working on 2 big projects right now, one of which, of course, is phase 2. But there is a much larger project that I'm working on that I just cannot talk about yet. The second I can, I'm going to fucking scream it from the rooftops and the mountains and the skyscrapers. But for the time being, I just cannot talk about it. And the issue is that I'm spending time doing things that are taking me away from those projects, aka just editing. Shooting videos for me, like this is fine. It's going to take me, I'm going to rant for about 10 minutes and sweet. But I feel as though getting to the point, like in the world of business and time and such, where if I don't start allocating my time properly into the right things, I'm going to take away from some of the projects that I should be, that are more valuable, where my time being spent there is more valuable. And editing is something that I could essentially pay someone to do and get that out of my head. The only thing is finding somebody that, I can make that make sense with, because the channel's losing money. The second I start paying for editing, the channel is losing money. At which point then it's like, how valuable is it? How much money do you allocate to it? That's the whole side of business that hopefully I'll be able to talk to everybody about, so you can see how this grows into the evolution of everything else. But it's a hell of a blessing to even be here in the first place. Getting to the point where I can hire an editor to do my videos, like, that's cool. Sucks, but that's cool. And I guess just to finish off, I just have to say that I really have to tighten the hinges on trips like this. And like, if I do, because like this obviously was very last minute. I'm not even getting paid to be here, but this is just like a very last minute trip where they're like, "Hey, want to come be a part of this?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? This could be a fun thing." And it was, except I need to, if I am going to do this in the future, there's a few things I'm going to have to make sure that are like crystal clear, set in stone, which is generally just making sure that my accommodations are like really well done so that I can stay on plan perfectly. Because I have 2 full 32 bottle cases of water that I've almost been through the entire time that I was here. And the reason why that's important to know is because whenever I travel, there's certain things because of the Crohn's disease that I cannot mess with. Water is one of them. Usually my peptides, my peptide regimen is so incredibly important, and it's on trips like this that I realize how important it is. I forgot my bag of peptides in the fridge before I left. I did not bring it with me. And I have eaten off plan a couple times during this trip because I just wasn't prepared as I should have been. And as a result of which, I have spent more time in the bathroom in the last, I want to say, 48 hours than most of you will spend in the next 2 weeks, which sucks. And so, if anything, that is just a very clear-cut case of showing me the importance of the peptides and how being on track with them has helped with my Crohn's disease. So I think that definitely one of the first videos I'm going to shoot when I get back is my full peptide stack, because that is clearly incredibly important to my well-being, and I'm sure could help others, seeing how much it helps me. But another thing that I'm going to do is set up almost like a mandatory list of things that have to be done. And this is like back to my DJ days, but like almost like this like mandatory list of things that have to get done for me to go somewhere if a company's flying me out. And this would be called a rider usually back in the DJ days. I don't know if influencers do the same thing. This is all weird and sort of new to me, but I have a list of things that I need to be able to go somewhere and not disrupt with the general flow of things. Because at the end of the day, doing stuff for other people is fine, but the second it starts taking away from what I'm trying to achieve myself, then that's just like going back into my old roots of just helping everybody and putting myself second, which is one of the main reasons why we all, get fat in the first place, by not taking care of ourselves first. And I know that obviously on my mission to become this pro bodybuilder person, I can't mess with that a lot. And I need to be able to travel for work. So how do you marry those two things? Being on trips like this, it really like reinvigorates the want to achieve things, to do the thing, to to just push forward so much. And I'll never not be grateful for it. So thank you guys for watching. And like I said, whether I have 1 million views tomorrow or not, which I probably won't, let's be real, it's fine. And I'm genuinely enjoying the process now, and I think that that's the biggest win of everything. So, as always, let's change the world together.